What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Hardware Sense channel. My name is Ivan and today we have another peripheral. You guys know I love my mice, my keyboards, my headphones, all kinds of gaming and computer peripherals. So today we are going to look at this one. This is the Delux M700 gaming mouse. Came from the Amazon Vine reviewing program. I saw it there and I was like, you know what I'm missing in my life? Another gaming mouse. So we can go through the unboxing, the setup, the software, the customizations on RGB and everything else, but let's talk about the company and the mouse itself. Those of you that might not be familiar with Delux, they're quite old on the computer market. And my first encounter with Delux was way back in the late 90s, early 2000s, where I bought a case with included power supply. And at the time, not a lot of computer makers were really paying attention to power supplies. You know, the industry was starting to pick up on a little bit more powerful hardware, so factor power supply became more important. Long story short, that was the first case, really higher quality case that I bought, and I actually modified it to have a side window and intake and all that stuff, so it lasted me for a long time. Seeing them back on the market, I was kind of surprised. That's why instantly I wanted to grab one of those products and check out and see how they are actually compared to all the other ones at today's day and age. And if you guys are familiar with this design, you are not mistaken. You've seen the AJazz mouse that I reviewed previously. A lot of these perforated honeycomb style lightweight mices are becoming popular from any brand, even the most popular and expensive ones like Corsair. They also make these style mice. So a lot of companies like Delux or AJazz or any other ones have decided to pick up on that hype and go full on perforated, lightweight, and RGB. Now, very well packaged. You'll see I chose the black one to kind of contrast with the AJazz and see what the difference is. But interesting choice on Delux, they actually put white Teflon feet on the bottom opposed to black ones to kind of break up the uniformity of the color. Overall ergonomics and everything else is pretty much the same as the AJazz. All right, moving quickly to the unboxing of the Delux M700. Very nice packaging. You see you can flip it over. It's with magnets, hold up. Shows some of the RGB goodness and the mouse itself. So let me see if I can cut this and open it. Getting it out of the packaging. On top we have the cable and the mouse just slides out completely. Kind of a beat up packaging, but hey, who cares? We're gonna use it anyway. Let me put this to the side. We'll see what else we have inside. So we have Pro Gaming Mouse. All right, thanks for letting me know. This is some of the explanations showing some of the functions, back, forward, all the keys, all that stuff. DPI all the way to 32,000 DPI via the software. Cable is 1.8 meter long, nickel plated, super soft. We'll see how soft it is. Teflon pads and 67 grams, plus minus 3 grams. So pretty much the same specs as we had on AJazz. They show us some of the software here. Again, I'm not recommending anybody installing any third-party softwares because that's just going to additionally bog down your computer, unfortunately. So keep it as clean as possible if you want to have better frames. So going over that mouse, actually very similar to the AJazz. The legs are a little bit different. I see the Teflon legs. Obviously we're missing that button here for the game modes that we had on the AJazz. We don't have this here on the Delux. Normal back and forward button we have here. The scroll wheel, it's nice and thick and very silent as well. And the left and right buttons are Omron switches, and they seem a little bit quieter compared to the AJazz I showed you on my previous video. But overall, I think the construction is very reminiscent to the AJazz. We have the same exact hexagonal pattern on the top for ventilation, on the bottom as well, and through here we can see the Delux logo, but when we power it on, we'll see how that functions. And moving on to the cable, some of you know that I like to criticize the cable, so this one is not as soft as the one on the AJazz. The plug itself is more compact, which I like. The cable itself is thinner, which is good, but overall it's stiffer and kind of hard to move. Again, we have hook and loop strap around the cable, which is great to see when you travel, you want to pack it. It's pretty long. We have shielding as well. A lot of companies don't include shielding anymore, but this is a good thing to have. And I'm glad that I don't put gold plating here, because that really doesn't matter at all. Yeah, interesting choice. They put white Teflon feet on the bottom instead of black ones, as the mouse is black. And overall, I think it's less functions than the AJazz. I really like that switch, game mode switch right here, so you can completely omit the inclusion of software and just switch your modes through here. But this one, you have to have the software. Maybe I'll temporarily install it just to show it to you guys. Okay, so there's a plastic cover on top of the feet of the mouse that you can peel off. That's a good protection. And yeah, let's plug it in and see what this Delux M700 can offer us and how different it is compared to the AJazz. All right, now that we have it plugged in, the Delux M700, you can see how it looks right next to the AJazz. They're very similar, not quite the same pattern. Deluxe one has a little bit of a bigger cells compared to the AJazz. Also, if you look to the side, the RGB strip starts from kind of the middle of the mouse, where on the AJazz, it's almost around the whole mouse. Also, the back and forward buttons on the side, a little bit skinnier compared to the AJazz, which I like these better actually. And then cable, obviously, I'm gonna talk about that. This looks thicker, but it's a lot softer and kind of easier to move on your desk, where the one on Deluxe, it's kind of hard, thinner, but very hard, and it's hard to move around. You see the scroll wheels, thicker on the Deluxe, skinnier on the AJazz, and these are the logos, can be seen through the perforations right here in the back. Again, all in all, very similar design, but slightly different functions. You'll see the Teflon feet are different on both mice, and this gaming switch right here, it's a lot better. You can switch your RGB modes and your gaming mode on the AJazz, where this one you have to install the software. We're gonna look at that in a second, but again, I'm not a fan of installing third-party softwares. Definitely slows down your computer. You never know what's behind. It's a security risk, so I personally would not advise you to do that. But if you want to do it and customize your lights or all that stuff, go ahead and do it yourself. Otherwise, it slides pretty well over the top. Clickiness, it's pretty much the same as the one on the AJazz, not a big difference there. Switches for the DPI, you'll see if you switch the DPI, it will change the color, kind of like the same as the one on the AJazz. So depending on the speed of your DPI, the color changes, so it will go to different colors. So yeah, it's not taller or shorter, it's pretty much the same height, same length, same shape. I mean, almost seems like the same manufacturer made them, and might as well they did, but who knows. The price of the Deluxe is about $32 to $35, and the AJazz is $40. So if it's up to me, I'll probably spend a couple more dollars and get the AJazz just because of the added functionality. On the flip side, the Deluxe is a little bit more stealthy. Obviously, there's a black version of this one, but this one is a little bit more stealthy. The cover of the ABS, the plastic, is a little bit rougher and kind of grippier. And the Deluxe is using the Omron switches, where the AJazz, they're not. But I don't know how big of a difference that is. Only time will show. I think clickiness, they're all the same to me. All right, let's go into the software and see if we can try to change the colors of the mouse. When you open the Deluxe website, you can see the mouse actually pops up right in the front, so they're really proud of that product, I guess. So they have multiple ones, keyboards and whatnot, but one of them is exactly the M700 with advertised RGB and everything else. Once we have it downloaded, we can extract and install. Obviously, being a Chinese software, uncertified, you will see the Windows protection message, unknown publisher, run away, don't run. We'll go ahead and install it and try to configure the RGB and the software, see what else is inside. Definitely going to uninstall it after that. I really don't want that in my computer, as I mentioned before. So here it is. What do we have is the different DPIs, lightning profiles. We have perimeter, mouse sensitivity, double click speed, scrolling speed, USB polling rate. We have macros. You can record different macros if you want to. And LOD. The LOD is lift and move. So if you're doing a lot of competitive first-person shooters, sometimes your mouse pad is not enough, so you got to lift the mouse, reposition. But the sensor will keep detecting the sensor will keep moving the mouse like it's a normal, even though you're lifting it off the actual mat. So that's good to have. Let's go to lighting and see. Colorful streams, steady light. We'll do red, all red. You can do all green, but you can go through the settings and modify that as well. The DPI can be different. The back and forward can be different. You can assign the different buttons to the DPI, to back and forward, left and right. In the middle click, you have different profiles here that you can select. Stars. Let's see what's the stars twinkle. Okay, yeah, that changes a little bit different. See the wave. Okay, that's different. You can have them off, actually. That's pretty good. Only the DPI colors stay on. I wish that we can turn that off as well. Breeding, we have the breeding modes. That changes the different colors. Colorful tail does the snake kind of a movement. Depending on your color of your internals in your computer, maybe you can set it up this way to kind of match the internals, so that's not bad at all actually. And you can brighten it up or darken it, that's good as well. And again, the DPIs, we can adjust the DPIs and mess around with them a lot, but I normally don't do that kind of stuff at all, don't really care. See, that's the problem with the softwares, that you have to have it open all the time so you can control your macros, where the AJazz, the macros are pre-recorded already and you can switch them with the button on the bottom. I like that better. Where this one, it's you have to have the software open. Overall, pretty simplistic and kind of a not too overbearing software, but at the same time, I really don't like running anything like that on the background. It doesn't take too much of a memory, but still at the same time, why have it, right? Especially if it's a security risk. Okay, so that's it for the software. I'm gonna close it and uninstall it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go into the conclusion. All right, this was it for the Delux M700. You guys saw very similar to the AJazz, minus some of the functionalities that AJazz have, like that gaming dedicated button. You can change the different RGB modes and gaming mode. Ideally prefer this kind of situation, so I don't have to really necessarily go and install software, third-party software. I really don't like that. Slows down your computer. It's a security risk. It's software coming from somewhere that you don't really know. It's not, you know, big manufacturer or anything. Even the big manufacturers. I personally have Corsair products and I don't install any of the ICU or any of the other Corsair programs because it's proven to slow down your computer. It's a security risk, and if you're playing competitively, I'm sure you will like to have more FPS. But anyway, this is a good choice for a cheap budget gaming mouse. If you guys are really on a budget, you don't want to spend more than around $30–35 for a mouse, that's a good option. You can always grab it, or maybe as a spare mouse if you're traveling, if you want to have it and just throw it in your backpack as a spare gaming mouse, absolutely. If you have a little bit more money though, I would advise you to grab the AJazz just because of the gaming functionality and the addition of that button, so you don't have to install software at all. Also, the cable is better on the AJazz. This one is nice and thin, but at the same time it's kind of a stiff and hard to drag around your desk. Trust me, makes a difference when you're trying to play and you're in the game. Any little resistance of the cable makes a difference, at least to me. I'm sure other people as well. But all in all, I think for the money, it's a good mouse. I'm still trying to get used to that lightweight. That's why I'm constantly using the AJazz on my main gaming desktop to kind of see if I can reteach myself for lighter weight opposed to what I liked before, higher mice off the surface and heavier, but we'll see with these ones. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Stay tuned to the channel. There'll be a lot more coming very soon. I have a ton of hardware to show you, a ton of tests, ton of games. Still trying to find an RTX 3080 to get for my Omron 30L. So far, I had no luck, but I'm really hoping very soon there'll be more quantities coming to NVIDIA so I can grab one of those Founders Edition cards, throw it in, and we can move on with a lot of testing with that computer. I have other things that I'm gonna do, but we'll leave that for the next videos, guys. And until next time, as always, you guys have a wonderful day.